Alright, in this video we're going to take a look at what is referred to as quite possibly the best caliber ever produced, and that would be the 40 Smith & Wesson. So this is a bunch of different types of 40, and we'll take a look at them, and in the process talk about some interesting things about bullets in general, I suppose. Hopefully encourage people to think about collecting and paying more attention to some of the sideline topics as far as guns go. And we'll see what happens. So we're looking at some 40 Smith & Wesson here. So I think 40 was a cool caliber, came along with some reasons, I suppose. I'm not going to get into the history of it here, but it's an interesting caliber because it's a recent one. Like I say, developed with some goals, or with some to achieve some goals, and whether or not it did that, it happened all here right before our eyes. So whether or not you're a fan of the 40 or you're a hater of the 40, it's an interesting caliber because it happened all just in the last few years. So let's take a look at what we've got here. We start off with some shot shells. I've got a couple of different types. They're all CCI, and they're really all the same, I guess. For most people are going to consider these the same, since they're the same from just a few feet away. But if you look at them, they're different. This one's got an opaque or a black plastic wad or whatever that thing is holding them in. This one's got a clear one, and this one's got that same texture, but it's clear, and you can see the shot in there. But otherwise, it's just, you can see the shot in this one pretty good. It's just a little shot shell, a bunch of small lead projectiles inside of a 40 Smith & Wesson case, and that would give you the ability to shoot at a snake or some sort of a moving target or something, I guess. Then you've got a couple of just dummies. So the difference between a dummy and a snap cap is this is solid plastic, or like this hybrid of metal and plastic. It's no moving parts. It's just designed to fill space in a magazine, to create a malfunction if you're operating the firearm, or for training purposes. So it's unlike a snap cap, which is designed to absorb the firing pin going forward into it for storage reasons or other reasons. You might gunsmithing or repair or troubleshooting. With snap caps, they're designed to take a little bit more abuse, and I have a couple of different styles here. These cost a little bit less than these. These have the advantage of having a real metal rim, so if you're going to be manipulating them through the firearm, these are going to last a lot longer, of course, than these that have the plastic rim, which will eventually just break. Alright, next up we're looking at all the different kind of hollow points, and I won't go to try to name them all, but you can see there's some different styles. This first one is pretty cool. We've got the solid copper Corbon, big giant copper cup in there, a bunch of different styles, the safety slugs there. You can see the Hydra shocks, a couple of different styles there with different size cups, and everything but a black talon. I guess there's no black talon in here. And then I'll just wrap it up with all these different Full Metal Jacket, and you can see these are all 40 Smith & Wesson. They're all actually different, and if you look at them closely, they all have a little bit different shape, a little bit different trigonometry. Some of these are a little rounder, some of these are more of the trapezoid shape to them, where some of them have that rounded radius to them, and that's going to affect things like how they feed in a firearm or how they work through the magazine. And that's why some brands and some types of ammo work better than others. So this is what I do when I get a new type of ammo. I put it in this tray, and I take pictures of them. I look at them every once in a while because they're neat, especially when you get some of the extremes, you know, that have the different types of projectiles or different tech, or different methods of delivering their energy into a target. And then of course it's just neat to see all the different shapes of ball ammo next to each other. So this is the 40. We'll do the same thing in a series here with some of the other calibers. And again, I hope people will consider starting an ammo collection. This doesn't take much. Just take a round out when you buy a new type of ammo. Many of us are going to buy a different type of ammo or a couple of different types of ammo when we buy a new firearm, or just along the line you find one I like to look at partial boxes when I go to gun shows. A way to offset the admission price or the price of parking is to buy stuff when you're in there. And one of the ways to save some money is to buy a partial box of ammo, since I know I'm going to try to save one for my collection, and then I want to try some just to see how the gun likes it. Maybe trade half the box off then with a friend who has some different type. Gets you more for your collection. It lets you know more data about your gun and what it likes. And another source for different types of ammo is just opening up your eyes and your ears at the range and listening to people who might be testing something new, asking them if you can have one or trade them, and then checking out on the ground or in the bucket where they put spent rounds. Sometimes people get a dud or something, and a lot of mine are duds. People that had one that they were going to throw away anyway because it didn't fire for whatever reason, and those are perfect for the collection. Alright, so this was the 40. Stay tuned for others, and leave us some comments wherever you happen to see the video. And as always, thanks for watching.